Welcome to Mortified, the Friendship Quest, a podcast where two long-distance friends bounce media recommendations, all in hopes the other will like it. I'm Aaron.
And I'm both Chip and Dale, your gummy ship engineers.
And this week, to celebrate Leyla's move, we're playing Interstitial, our Hearts Intertwined. Before we summon our Keyblades to face the darkness, remember you can help us on Mortified, the Legitimacy Quest by subscribing to us on YouTube, iTunes, or Spotify, signing up for our monthly newsletter through the link in our show notes, or following us on Twitter at MortifiedPod. And to help us on our quest, we've got two very special guests you've heard on Mortified before, Ange and Michael. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Michael, I feel, needs no introduction, but he should go first.
Well, hello. I'm so happy to be back and under these terms. I cannot wait for this.
And I'm Ange, and I'm just excited to be invited back, guys. Thanks for having me.
Loyal listeners, you'll remember Ange was on our first TTRPG game, and Michael was on our anime hair episode. They were both extremely delightful, and we're so happy to have them back. And we are going to try another TTRPG in the grand tradition of whenever one of us moves, we play a TTRPG, I guess. And just so before we get started, I want to say this is a Kingdom Hearts theme game by Riley Hopkins, who is at RevRyBread on Twitter. I'm going to put some links to his storefront below if you like the game. Also, I've never ran this game before. None of my players have ever played it, so we're just going to fucking see what happens. Don't come at us about rules. Real quick before we really get into it proper, Leyla and I have kind of talked about our histories with Kingdom Hearts. Michael, what is your history with the Kingdom Hearts franchise?
So my history is Kingdom Hearts is basically custom made for me because I love any sort of, cross IP vibe, and I love RPGs. I've never owned a Kingdom Hearts game. I've only rented them and played them. So this is going to be great because I think the last time I played one, I was telling off cast, was Kingdom Hearts 2, which came out in 2005. So
16 years ago, great. Ange, what is your history with the Kingdom Hearts franchise?
I know why you're laughing, and first of all, stop laughing at me. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is one of my favorite video games, actually, and it is the best Kingdom Hearts game, that is the hill that I'm choosing to die on. I didn't have a PlayStation 2 as a kid, so, that was my entry point into the series, and my friend who did have a PlayStation 2 had to, explain the story of Kingdom Hearts 1 to me so that I understood what was going on in this card-based Game Boy game, and I love it to bits.
You played the Game Boy game. Okay.
Yes.
That makes a difference, because when they converted that into a PS2 game, I thought it got a lot worse. So I think you are actually the Kingdom Hearts purist we need.
And for loyal listeners, I would like to remind you that Chain of Memories is the boy smells game. It's the one where you smell boys.
Yes. It's the boy smells.
Yes.
You smell Ansem on everyone. It's great. I love it.
Good. We are going to be playing Interstitial, Our Hearts Intertwined. It's a one-shot that could, in theory would lead into a larger campaign, but we are going to play the first episode here. I'm going to read a dork-ass intro, and we're going to get into it. The closer you get to the light, the greater your shadow becomes. It has been 20 years since Xehanort was defeated by Sora and the other Guardians of Light. For a time, prosperity, peace, and joy flourished throughout the worlds. King Mickey, with the help of the Guardians, spread light to unknown worlds, finding new princesses of heart and seeking their counsel about how to create a better society. And together, they did. But 6 months ago, King Mickey took ill and returned to the heart of all worlds. It was sad to see him pass, but to be fair, he was 93 years old. Queen Minnie, racked with grief, but persevering nevertheless, continues on his life's work of spreading light and tying the worlds together. But as soon as Mickey faded away, it seemed the forces of darkness were waiting to sneak in and cast their shadows once more. In the past 2 months, at least 2 separate attacks on the World Chain, highways of light that connect every world to every other world in the network, have occurred, causing fear and confusion everywhere. Tonight, a new world will be connecting their link to the World Chain, and Queen Minnie is sending you 3 in to rendezvous with a Prince of Light and protect the ceremony. So we open in a dive to the heart. We are all standing on a big stained glass sort of picture overhead, and we see three figures. Who would like to introduce their character first?
I'll go. So I feel that it might be best to drop a quick little photo in the chat and show you what you see, and just get your reactions live.
I'm stressed.
You should be. So this is the figure you see in front of you.
So, listeners, this is Wanda Maximoff from WandaVision / MCU fame. Michael, can you specify, is this post WandaVision Maximoff, or is she like, the younger version?
This is post WandaVision, lots of trauma, but she's processed it a little. This is Wanda goes to therapy.
Oh, perfect. Great. Excellent. What playbook are you playing?
So I am playing, shocking to everyone who's ever played an RPG with me, the Mystic.
Oh, yeah, big fucking surprise. All right, we see Wanda Maximoff step onto this light. Her red hair is illuminated by the shimmering of the glass beneath her, and she looks to her left. And who does she see?
She sees this kind of gawky, scraggly looking, probably like mid to late 30s looking dude. Unkempt, just grizzled, gnarly. His hair really needs a trim. I'm assuming we're wearing like the black cloaks or whatever.
You can be wearing whatever you want. If you want to wear the black cloak, that's perfect.
So he's wearing a black cloak because he doesn't really know better, but kind of like weirdly wrapped around his neck and kind of like tucked into it is his ever trusty towel. And this is Aggermint Zathade. I'm playing an OC in from the realm of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh shit!
That's amazing!
And yes, Aggermint Zathade, disgraced and displaced. That's my playbook. Former reporter of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the greatest book out of any of the Ursa Minor publishing houses. As the displaced, the three questions, which I would like to address if I may, are,
please.
Does my displaced miss their home? Absolutely not. He knows it'll come back eventually. Things have a way of showing up like that. What did my displaced first do when I got to this new world? Asked a lot of really weird questions about where people's towels were, where the towels were kept, and just a lot of weird things about the mooner cycle, and no one's really sure if he means just the moon or the lunar cycle, but he kept on insisting it was the mooner cycle. What visually has your displaced brought from their home that doesn't fit in with where they are now? It's the towel tucked into the Organization 13 robe like a big puffy ascot.
I love this so much.
This is
I
incredible.
realize the podcast is not a visual medium. I now have, for the listeners, I now have a towel wrapped around my neck.
We are cosplaying today, folks.
Yes.
This is incredible. Aggermint Zathade gives us, I assume, a solemn nod to Wanda Maximoff. And
No, he's like giving her like a hairy eyeball and is just writing things down.
okay. Great. He's sort of taking notes on the people. And then he looks to his left. Who does he see, Leyla?
So my character's name is Karli, starts with a K, ends with an I, and she is a human from the Toy Story world who took a 1-year break after college and fell in with an MLM called Sliceco, and she's a door-to-door knife salesman, and she will be playing the Dark Playbook. She's gonna girl boss the darkness. I only need 5 friends to join, and then I get a bonus.
Oh my god. I went to high school with her.
I went to high school with the girl.
We all went to high school with Karli. Great. Holy shit.
Oh. So physically, she's just like a fit 25-year-old in some like, we'll call them fantasy yoga pants and like a yoga tank top with the Heartless logo kind of obscured by a tasteful little cardigan, you know. And her weapon used to be like an actual knife, but now it looks like a knife made out of gummy because that's what all the weapons look like in Kingdom Hearts. But it's a big, very big, like giant, magically bound to her appears when she
Yeah, it's like Cloud's Buster Sword, but just a knife.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fuck me. Okay. Oh, great. So, with our trio complete, let's roll for links. So, Interstitial is a game about links and the bonds that tie us. So, a lot of your stats are determined by links with each other. So, it's important to establish the bonds that you have with characters that happen in this world. So, let's start with Michael, since you went first. Michael, what kind of link do you want to establish with Aggermint?
Let me see.
And while you're thinking, I'll describe the types of links. So there's a there's a light link, which is basically links between friends. Those are generally positive. There's a dark link. Those are links between rivals, and they're generally born out of negative emotions. There's a mastery link, which is teachers, students, mentors, apprentices. They can be either positive or negative, but it means you want to learn something from someone. And you have heart links, which are links made with people whose actions or attitudes lead you to introspection or the discovery of new things about yourself.
So Wanda definitely wants a mastery link because she thinks there's plenty to learn about alternate realities and different worlds. So that's the link I'm going to roll for.
Perfect.
Let's see. That's a 9.
That is a success. Let me see if there's any weird rules about making a link. Your link move doesn't trigger, or the link isn't what you intended. Okay. So the link isn't what you intended. So if it's not a mastery, maybe it's a teaching link, right? Maybe you're like, or what's more interesting, maybe if it's a dark link, like maybe you're paranoid about this person from another dimension.
I love that.
I think that fits with Wanda. And then what about your link with Karli?
I don't think Wanda likes Karli. I think she is sus, so I'm going to try to make a dark link.
Sounds good.
That is a 7.
A 7. So that is also the link isn't what you intended. Is it funnier that you think that Karli teaches you something about yourself, or that you're just like completely taken in with her MLM shit?
I love the idea of Wanda being swept up in an MLM.
Yes, she spends perfect. You're just like, gosh, Karli, she keeps trying to sell me all these knives, but there's something about her I can't get over. All right, Aggermint, your turn.
Cool. I am all about these knives that Karli is trying to sell us. I think that they're great. I think that they're fantastic. I think that there's so much to learn. There's so much potential here. So much just raw poking potential. And I would like to try to make a mastery link. So it's 2d6, right?
Yep, plus whatever your mastery
and
button is. Right.
Well, guess who's got a negative to mastery? So that's
no.
a 9. Yeah, so that's a 9.
Oh no, you rolled a 10, but you actually did worse.
Yeah.
So this is also, I think that you're a little bit too into her knife selling. I think you,
I like this, canonically, Karli's like a cat. Like, if you're suspicious or not so sure, she's like, yes, this is who I'm selling to. But if you're like, oh my god, I love this, she's like, no, too much.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to set it up. I think you have a dark link with her because she's like, you want it a little too bad.
I asked too many questions.
That's right. And then your link with Wanda.
Wanda is I'm gonna try to roll a heart link.
Sure.
Because Wanda is a vision. Wanda is an enigma. I'm sorry. Wanda is an enigma to me, and it is just incredibly fascinating to me. This therapy that you go to get over the loss of something that is eventually going to come back, and everything is going to be fine, obviously, because that's the way the universe works. Uh-oh.
So that's a miss.
But I get +1 to heart, so that's a 6.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Still a miss.
Damn it.
That's okay though. I still feel like, this is early in the game. Normally, if this was like later on in the game, I would make a hard move or someone else would get a link. We won't worry about that right now. I think you still get a link, but I think it is. I feel like you're a little bit in love with Wanda.
Cool.
I feel like, you thought it was more about introspection, but actually it was about like, I like her. I think she's got it.
Yeah, there's just something about her.
Yes.
Yeah.
If only he were a robot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, it's tragic.
Give me 2 more realities, I can make it happen.
Yeah, we'll see. And
so is that
Leyla,
is that a light link or is that a?
That's a light link. Yes,
That's a light
thank
link.
you for
Okay,
asking.
cool. Thank you.
Leyla, what are your links? Or
Okay, so I would like to roll for a mastery link with Wanda. I think Karli just really likes her swag and really wants to lean into that aesthetic. She wants to maybe see if a cape will fit her look at some point or another, So I don't have any bonuses to mastery, but that's a 6.
Okay, so that's bad. So no mastery, but maybe there is something. Maybe it's a heart link. Maybe there is something, or not a heart link. The wisdom. No, it is a heart link. Sorry. There's something about Wanda's just like the trauma and the fact that Wanda has been through so much that makes you think about all the stuff that you've had to go through in your own life, and it's a little unnerving, but you do feel that connection that like Wanda and you are of the same substance in some ways. That's what I would say about Wanda Maximoff and an MLM person.
Girl bosses.
That's exactly. Thank you.
Great. What's that? It's like Gaslight something girl boss, the Cruella tagline.
Gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
There it is. Hey, technically, with all the portals, we are kind of gatekeeping.
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect.
Ange, what is your character's name?
Aggermint Zathade.
So with Aggermint,
Aggermint.
Mint. I keep saying
Aggermint. That's gonna take a minute to absorb. With Aggermint, if I keep saying it, it'll stick. I actually was gonna go for a heart link. She's a little put off by him. I think he's a little, like we said, just came on a little too strong. But there's something about how he's just learned to let go of the material, and that's what her yoga classes kept getting at. So she really wants to see if she wants to. She's really trying to absorb that kind of letting go of things, of embracing minimalism. And so a 3. It's a 3.
we have had no successful rolls.
I love this chaos.
Okay, so instead of embracing that minimalism, I think the fact that Aggermint has been able to so thoroughly embody that, you kind of hate him for that. So that's a dark link.
Jesus Christ!
You want to be like him, but in a bad way. This bodes well for the campaign. Okay. Well, that was an ordeal, but we made it through it. So now we have all our relationships with each other. Do you all know how you ended up in the employ of Queen Minnie?
Obviously, because she wants to find Vision. He's gone again.
Perfect.
Aggermint just kind of showed up at the castle asking questions one day and didn't leave and put on the cloak, and everyone kind of just assumed he was on the payroll, and then he just was. The universe has a funny way of working things out from him like that.
Based on the fact that Goofy is the captain of the guard, you were 100% able to just get through security, no problem.
There's no stringent rules there, you noticed.
No.
Karli was able to sell Donald 2 full knife sets, and Daisy got kind of pissed about him depleting so much of their savings, so she just kind of pawned Karli off on Minnie and was, hoping that she could use her convincing powers to do some good ?
Oh my Christ. Donald would 100% get completely overwhelmed by an MLM.
Great.
So that tracks.
We've firmly established ourselves as like the B team, the second string.
If that.
Yeah, no. This is what happens when Sora's not around. It's just like, well, we got these people, I guess.
Sora's off in a Puerto Vallarta with Riku, just having a fantastic little vacation. That was a joke mostly for Michael.
Yeah.
The Circuit Queens.
Oh my lord. Okay. So you all have worked together for a while. Maybe it's a couple months, maybe it's years. At this point, who knows, but you're all still continuing the work that King Mickey, wanted to do, which is to unite the worlds with these world chains, these bridges of light that connect all the worlds and, enhance trade and make travel easy and protect it against the darkness that sort of floats around that is just space in Kingdom Hearts. And today you are going to connect a new world. And as you are flying in your gummy ship down to this new world, what does your gummy ship look like, by the way?
Who's I don't know, who's our gummy ship designer? Would that be like me or Wanda or Aggermint? Did you come on one, maybe? Did you end up on one and come here on one?
No, I think I kind of just accidentally sidestepped into this dimension. Just took the wrong door out of the subway. It happens.
Perfect.
No, I think that Aggermint tried to pass himself off as a spaceship designer, but it ended up looking not quite geometrically correct. It was round in the middle, but square in the front, and there was a weird trapezoid coming out the back. And so the blueprints were very quickly taken away. I'm not sure how much of that original vision you want to keep of that, though.
Can I make a pitch to our intrepid team? Okay.
Yes, of course.
So since we're the B team, would it be possible that Queen Minnie gave us one of the reject ships, and it was a vanity project by Donald, and it's literally a gummy ship shaped like Donald Duck?
I am so here for this.
Great.
Okay. Does it look like Donald, like, as a duck? Like, is there, like, a head and, like, he's, the wings and, like, sitting down? Okay.
Yeah.
But also still has the wizard.
Yeah, and the cockpit is actually, instead of his head, it's, like, weirdly in his lapels. So there's just a head above us.
Naturally.
The head is where the laser cannon is.
Naturally.
Holy shit. That rules. Okay.
They kept the trapezoid in the back, though, I noticed. Very nice of them. The tail is, you could say it's a trapezoid shape. You could say.
Oh, man. Oh, God. We have to make this a full campaign so you can unlock the probability drive, and that way just more chaos. So you are sailing on this bridge of light, but eventually you have to take off the highway because this world isn't yet connected. But as you're flying towards this new world, what you see is it's a world that's mostly covered by large white buildings, and you see a couple in particular. You see a big green lawn, you see a big white obelisk, and then you see like a couple like big buildings with big white domes. And then the title card comes up, and it says Columbia. Y'all bring your spaceship down right in the middle of the Capitol lawn. Have any of you been to Columbia before?
I guess a parallel Columbia when she was touring colleges.
Great. Good.
Wanda's only really spent time in New Jersey and a, Eastern European former Soviet country, so no.
They don't like you in Colombia based on the movies.
I think I've been to a Columbia before, but this one looks different. I'm noticing that it's very much stuck to the ground. The one that I went to was all up in the air and had propellers on the bottom of it, and there were airships all around, so... No, I don't think I've been to this particular Columbia.
No, that one got blown up. No.
Oh. Well, That's a shame. They had fun music.
No, we hate that Columbia here.
Don't we?
I should probably play Bioshock one of these days.
Not Infinite.
Not
Who said that?
As your ship lands down and you all step out, you see, it's a fairly bustling city. It's actually much more densely populated than a lot of the other worlds you've been to. There's people driving by in cars. There's people out on the lawn, throwing frisbees around and walking dogs. And it seems to be a fairly nice city. You've been instructed that the main place that you're going to be going is the big domed building that we all know is the Capitol building. But you're going to be that's where they're going to be installing this world chain link. So you all are starting to head over there. And as you walk up the lawn, you hear a friendly voice shout, "Oh, hey, on your left." And to your left, you'll notice a man in a red, white, and blue striped uniform. He's got a weird red frisbee on his back. He's a white guy. Maybe he looks like he's in his, maybe 30s. So he's about, close to y'all age. He says, "Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for coming by. My name is Captain Steve Rogers. I'm gonna be your emissary here to help with help Queen Minnie. It's a pleasure to meet you all."
Hi, Steve. That's very formal.
Wanda! Sorry. Wow. Where have you been?
I took some time off to be a homemaker.
Oh, wow. We'll have to catch up after this. Gosh, it's been a while, I suppose. But thanks. I know you, but how are the rest of you all doing?
Karli just immediately extends it. Something about her posture changes as soon as a new person enters the kind of atmo. She's been very casual, very peppy this whole time, but it just turns up to 12, and she just extends her hand and her little high ponytail is bobbing, and she's like, "Hi, I'm Karli Johnson, and I'd love to be your neighborhood representative of Slice Co. Knives. What a pleasure to meet you."
He's a little taken back, but he's like, "Yes, ma'am. Miss Karli, thank you so much for."
That's Karli. Starts with a K and ends with an I.
Yes, I'll write that down. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure, ma'am. And what is your name, sir?
Oh, I'm Aggermint Zathade. No relation.
Pleasure to meet. Relation to who?
Well, I'm assuming you. See, Rogers is one of my second names, but you don't seem to look related to me. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
He just gives you deer in headlights for 5 seconds, and is like, "Okay, well, we're going to be meeting the president at the Capitol building, so if you all would come along."
I'm going to lean into Wanda really quick because apparently she seems to know this guy. I'm sorry, is our introductions on, you seem familiar with this planet. Do introductions not go, you have to kind of establish that you have no extended familial relation? Because, where I'm from, every second person that you meet is in fact related to you.
Yeah, that's not usually a thing here, I gotta say.
I will note that down. And what planet exactly are we on? What plane of existence are we on currently? Which one's this?
Does anybody answer that?
Well, that depends. Did Steve ever shake Karli's hand?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then she just turns to Aggermint and just goes, "Earth, I think. One of the Earths. Definitely an Earth. Not sure if my Earth is better, but this is definitely an Earth."
Oh, well, that's very good for the Earth coming around for the 7th time. Very nice. Making a note in a weird journal.
God, just chaos. Does anybody want to roll a link with Steve Rogers?
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna try for a light link.
Okay.
We'll see. Okay, that's an 8.
Okay. I don't think that means you get a different one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gosh, gosh, I think you're beyond mastery. You've kind of already superseded him at this point in your time. I feel like you might have a dark link with Steve Rogers because of the fact that not only did he definitely get your brother killed, and also probably your husband killed, kind of, but he should probably have called, just checked up on you at one point.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like you're probably a little bit pissed at Steve.
I do have a link move. It's always you. So whenever I make a link with someone, I lock a different link.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Which link would you like to lock? Because that's super useful.
So I am going to lock with Aggermint. So the heart link is strong.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I'm glad that you see Steve Rogers and you're like, fuck this guy. Man, fuck this guy, right, Aggermint?
I feel like,
just yeah.
I feel like Wanda sees Steve being put off by Aggermint and is like, all right, this is my person. Like, we're best friends now. Fuck Steve.
I love that.
Can I roll a mastery link with Steve? Karli was a little bit put off by his lack of self-confidence and would really like to teach him how to present himself.
Oh my god, finally, Captain America learns how to be self-confident.
That's a 7.
A 7. So that is a partial success. So maybe not. What's an interesting thing to do here? Your link isn't what you intended. So maybe it's a heart link, right? You were rolling for mastery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe instead of you think you could teach him, you see something, his own reluctance, his own self-doubt, and you think, what if that's also in me? How could this man who's literally named Captain America have self-doubts and insecurities? That's weird. So I feel like you have a heart link with him.
Works for me.
Do I probably, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna roll, links, right?
Sure.
The light link is kind of just like the base level friendship one. And I'm gonna just try to do that because, he didn't immediately try to attack me, so that's pretty cool.
He's not a Vogon, at least.
Yeah, that's a fun, he didn't try to read me any poetry, so that's a fun new thing that happened. I forgot what my pluses are because I don't have them right in front of me. It's not going to be good though.
Well,
yeah, that's
probably
a
not going to be enough to overcome a 3.
No.
So pretty bad. Let's see. I feel someone else gets a link. The GM gives you a link, but also picks one. Make a move as hard as you want, or someone else gets a link. So I feel like I'm going to give you your light link because it's this is a pretty surface level thing. You get your light link.
Awesome.
But also, someone else gets a link. You already have links with each other. I think Steve might get a link on you. I think he might get a mastery link with you. I think he sees your inquisitive nature and realizes that you're a fish out of water, and he feels like he can teach you something, which is in some ways worse than a dark link.
Great pity.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. So you all are led up the stairs of the Capitol building. You see this big glowing, golden platinum. It looks like. Gosh, I don't even really know how to describe it except it looks like some sort of bullshit steampunk device that's just set into the middle between the stairs of the Capitol, and it's probably the size of a couple cars. That's just a big cylinder that's sort of pointing up to the sky, and it looks like there's people, all sorts of people just working around it and adjusting it and making sure that it's gonna be able to link Columbia to the rest of the world chain. But as you climb up the steps of the Capitol, Captain America stops and salutes, and he says, "President Parr, these are my friends who are going to help us secure the area for tonight's concert." And President Parr steps out, and President Parr is a young. Not young. She's maybe in her 50s. There's streaks of gray in her red hair, but she looks like she is confident and maybe a little bit harried, kind of busy running the planet. But she nods at you all and says, "Well, thank you so much for your help. I know that this is a big deal for all of us, both for your queen and for my people. So thank you all for taking the time to secure this link with our worlds. Please, Captain Rogers is at your disposal. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. But just if you can do a standard security sweep, there have been, mentions of some creatures wandering around. So if you could just secure the premises, make sure nothing strange happens, I would really appreciate it. And after that, you're welcome to join us at the concert."
What sort of creatures?
Actually, I was wondering, Michael, since you're the person who actually knows the most about Washington, D.C., what would a Heartless that is based in D.C. look like?
Ooh, that's a good question. A lobbyist? Or a law school frat boy, one of the two.
Yes, they've been seen wearing Vineyard Vines polos, but you must be, and Sperry's, but just be on the lookout for those. We wouldn't want anything to disrupt the concert. I'm expecting a wonderful performance tonight, and we wouldn't want anything to disrupt this very important diplomatic mission. But please, if you have any questions or need anything, I'm happy to help you out.
What's the concert? Like, what's the vibe? Who's playing?
It's mostly pop and rock. I'm a little bit, I don't like to admit it, but I am getting on in years. I'm not really sure. I don't know if you are aware of the exploits of Hannah Montana, but I'm expecting that she will put on a stunning performance. It'll be out there on the lawn.
As Hannah, or like as Miley, because those are two completely different vibes.
As who?
As Hannah Montana, or as herself, Miley Cyrus. One is much more sexually suggestive than the other.
Well, I suppose I wouldn't know. Miley Cyrus is Billy Ray Cyrus's daughter, is that correct? Right.
Yes, and she's also the actress that portrays Hannah Montana in the seminal self-titled sitcom. Yes, absolutely.
I'm not sure if you're aware. Hannah Montana's her own thing. She's in no way related to Billy Ray Cyrus. Perhaps they've worked on some albums together, but I wouldn't be aware of that.
Okay, well, ma'am, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Again, my name is Karli, starts with a K, ends with an I. I'd love to be your SliceCo representative for the neighborhood.
I think it might be illegal for me to accept anything from you, but thank you for your help.
Okay, well, I hope to hear from you soon. And she winks.
Awful.
Fascinating.
Oh, and before she goes, she's like, also there's been mention of a man with a metal arm. That's probably nothing. Don't worry about that. It's probably fine. Just keep an eye out.
Now, when you say with a metal arm, do you mean he only has the one arm and it's metal, or is he carrying around a metal arm that does not belong to him, rendering him a thief in this dimension? And I'm turning to Wanda because I'm not entirely sure.
I think that would make him a thief.
Yes, a thief. Is he walking around holding a metal arm?
I frankly do not know. You might want to interview some of the people setting up for the concert. Maybe they'd have a better idea. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. People say the wildest things.
You are an absolutely wonderful figurehead. Did you know that?
Why, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Great. Perfect. So, Steve Rogers, salutes again, and you all walk back down the stairs of the Capitol to this big open area where they're getting ready to set up. There's a bunch of people sort of wandering, setting up lawn chairs, getting ready to, in a couple hours, this concert's going to happen. So, what do you do to secure the grounds?
Well, I think first and foremost we should ask some of the industrious personnel around about the man with the metal arm, because if he is in fact a thief, we need to return the arm to its rightful owner. But if he does in fact have just the singular metal arm, technically he qualifies for Section 38B under the Robot Rights Act, and we can get him set up with any proper nice placement that he might need, any kind of medical care that he maybe does not have access to, the proper essential oils to rub into the gears, so to speak.
Karli, are you in on essential oils too?
She's allergic.
Of course. Okay, I'm gonna die.
I love Karli so much.
Yeah, so do I. She's great.
Great. Yeah. So, what are y'all thinking? How are you gonna investigate?
So is Steve with us?
Yeah, he's more like backup. He is here though.
Can we ask him about the guy with the metal arm?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The moment they're like out of earshot of the president, Karli just like turns around, and it's like the sharpest turn you've ever seen. She just pivots and kind of like clicks her heel down and like has her hands on her hips, and she's like, "So, Steve, I have a question."
Yes, ma'am.
So the president did allude to somebody with a metal arm, and considering you have a metal shield and just have a general kind of odd vibe about you, I did want to know, do you know anything about this man? And I know I have to roll for a deep dive. So here's the thing. I don't have to roll for a deep dive. I have a move called I Know What's in Your Heart that allows me to do the same thing pretty much, but with darkness, which is my best stat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Nice.
Still sad. That's a 2 + 2, so 4.
Okay. God. Really swinging for the fences here.
Really fucked up a bit.
Really shitting the bed.
Google is not giving me great rolls.
On a miss, prepare for the worst. God, I don't even know what that means. I guess he says, yeah, no, I mean, I've fought some wild folks in my time, but I never anybody with a metal arm. It's probably nothing, people just, they get excited around celebrities and they make up wild stories. The president, Hannah Montana, they're all very equally popular. So, don't, I wouldn't pay too much mind to that.
Okay, now can I try to convince him?
Sure. What do you try to convince him of?
To reveal what he knows, because he sounds sus. When I first met you, Steve, can I talk to you just like mano a mano, man to man, real quick? When you present yourself, I just feel like there's a bit of an uncertainty about you that just really strikes me. I really just look at you, your cut jaw, the swoopy hair, the beautifully tight-fitted uniform. You've got a beautiful Dorito proportion about you. I feel like you should really just take that to advantage a little bit more often. So when you're trying to convince somebody that you don't have information, I just feel like your general presence kind of gives off that maybe you might have something. So Steve, you seem like such a good man with such a good heart. Like I can really feel it. By that I mean it is giving me hives a little bit. But that's okay. I'm kind of used to it at this point. So people's lives and hearts are at stake. I know that matters to some people. I feel like you have that kind of air. If you know literally anything that could help us, considering we are just kind of a ragtag team of hullabaloos over here, and we do need every bit of help we can get securing this perimeter and this nation for you, this nation that you care about and that we are new to, I would really just would love to know anything you know.
I'm terrified.
That's a 7.
I'm obsessed.
That was, oh god, okay. Wow, and this is a convince somebody. So on a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but they need some clear assurance or evidence first. You have to, he says, okay, there is one person that, there is something I might know, but some people might not like it if they found out who this metal-armed man was, and I gotta, what can you promise me to make sure that he'll be safe?
Oh, that he'll be safe.
Tell him about the Robot Rights Act, Section 38B.
Excuse me?
Tell him about the Robot Rights Act, Section 38B.
I think my good friend Aggermint actually has a much better explanation than I would. I'm not really versed in any of that technical mumbo-jumbo, but I think he's got it. So baby, come over here. And then she just kind of it's the wildest shit. She just grabs him by the shoulders and substitutes him for where she was standing and goes to stand by Wanda.
This does not faze Aggermint at all. He's fine with this. He's used to this. As long as he is, at least partially a robot, which I'm starting to get the sneaking suspicion that he did not steal the robot arm, that it might just be his robot arm, based on the way that you're talking to my... How do I feel about Karli? What was my link with her? A dark link? Based on my compatriot Karli, your conversation with her. Yes, and so under the Robot Rights Act, Section 38B, humanoid type beings with robotic enhancements, it is understood that sometimes the robotic enhancements do go a little buck wild. They do go a little haywire. Maybe they accidentally punch someone in a bar that they weren't supposed to, and then it starts a whole cascading entropic, just implosion of personal relationships and potentially universes. Hilly's protected from that, is what I'm trying to say.
More importantly, Steve, as the person here with the experience being a fugitive, I think that you can trust us.
He looks at all of you and then to Wanda, and he's like, okay. So, back in the war, I had this friend, Buck, and he...
Friend?
We were explicitly romantic lovers, but that's beside the point. And he got taken over by the Nazis, unfortunately, which I guess now exist in Kingdom Hearts. Oops. Oh, bad wormhole. Hydra, yeah, they're not Nazis. And they did some things, and they messed with his heart, and they also gave him a cool metal arm. I don't know if those two are related, but I'm trying to... They put a lot of darkness in his heart, and I want to... That is the most Kingdom Hearts ass euphemism for radicalizing someone into white supremacy, but sure. They put a lot of darkness in his heart, and I'm trying to... I know there's light there. I know there is, and whatever happens, I do love him in an explicitly romantic way. So it would mean a lot if we did find this guy, if we didn't hurt him. I know I can bring the light back in him.
I'm gonna put a gentle hand on Captain Steve Rogers' shoulders and say, a little bit of grease oil will get that light shining nice and bright on his robot arm, and pat him on the shoulder, and go back to just jotting notes down.
What is he, aside from the metal arm, just because I feel like it could be covered up by, I don't know, a hoodie, a long sleeve shirt, a thermal. What does your boyfriend look like exactly?
Long hair, usually wears a mask over his nose, big fucking metal arm with a red star on it. It's mostly the metal arm that I think we should be... This is kind of a giveaway, but yeah.
Okay, well, when the city collapses because he's wearing a hoodie, I'll be sure to look out for the metal arm. But thank you, Steve. You've been very helpful.
I'm sorry. Great. This is going well.
You're doing great,
Let's
sweetie.
bully Steve Rogers.
You're being so mean to Captain America.
I like that we met Captain America and we're like, that's our antagonist, we're bullying him, we're all taking turns doing it too.
This is very true of the Kingdom Hearts franchise, in which they'll introduce somebody you're supposed to like, and then the players are just like, that guy fucking sucks. Like Hercules, he sucks shit. This is a very similar vibe. Gosh, all right. As you all, are surveilling the grounds, someone else runs up, and it's a young girl, maybe 14, 15 years old, and she runs up to, I guess, Wanda, and she's like, "Oh wow, are you Wanda Maximoff?"
Yes, I am.
I loved you. You and the Avengers, you all did such great work. Can I get an autograph? And she hands out like a notebook or something and hands you like a pen and asks for your autograph.
Sure. And Wanda just signs her autograph for this girl.
Can you make it out to Miley? That's me. And she kind of gives you a smile.
To Miley. Wait, are you... You sound familiar.
Oh, and then she does a very obvious, like, turns to the camera and she's like, and she's like, oh, you wouldn't know who I am. And then you hear a laugh track in the background somewhere.
I would like to make a link with Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana.
You're making a link with Miley Cyrus. Hannah Montana's a different person. You can get a 2-for-1 here, but yes, roll for a link with Miley.
I want a light link. We'll see, though.
Yeah, we'll see. Please, anything.
That's a 6.
A 6. Okay, I'm not gonna give you a dark link because I don't think Wanda's that kind of person, but I do think that I feel like you might want a mastery link because you know that she's hiding something and also is living in a sitcom, and you feel like you could learn something from somebody who's lived a life in sitcoms.
Instant connection living in a sitcom.
Yes, perfect. Great. She says, thanks so much. Are y'all going to be here for the concert?
Oh, you might know. Yeah, we'll be here. You might know. What's going to be the vibe? Like, what's the dress code? What are we? We just want to make sure we're blending in as much as, well, not maybe blending in.
Oh, it's just a party in the USA, baby.
That's good enough for me. Can I roll for a heart link with Miss Smiley here? Because I feel like Karli would I don't know, just get like a youthful vibe of when she still had dreams.
Oh, perfect.
Jesus.
12.
Oh, perfect. Does your link move go off?
Link move? I don't think, do I have one?
Yeah, I think everyone has a link move, so you both get a link on one another. So Miley is also going to get a light link with you. And you're... Oh,
it only goes off if it's a dark link.
Oh, dang, okay. Great, you have a link with... Our first perfect roll, you got a link with Miley Cyrus. And I'm very proud of you for that. And we see you all just surveilling the grounds, talking to people, checking out, where there might be potential Heartless problems. But in general, it looks like the concert is going to be safe. As the sun sets, though, we get a cutscene. You all are, like, getting ready to go to this concert. But the camera pans over from the concert and to the Washington Monument, and you see two figures standing in front of this monument. One is a man with long brown hair, a mask pulled over his nose and mouth, and a big metal arm. That's his left arm. And the other person, you don't see their face because they are in this bronze and gold armor, and their face is obscured by a big golden helmet. And the armored person turns to the masked man with the arm, which we know is Bucky, and they say, "Do you know what needs to be done?" And then the Bucky just sort of nods, and then the masked armored person says, "The light has burned far too brightly. It is now up to you to dim that light and stave off the coming shadow." And Bucky just sort of nods, and then this person in armor, she sort of like holds up her hand, and then an enormous spear appears. But the spear, the shaft is like yellow, and the spike is like a big pink like a big pink ball, and then the head of the spear is like this big lead like point. It looks almost like a pencil. Is what I'm going for, and they like kind of put it behind them, and they both start walking towards to the Capitol, and that's where the cutscene ends. And then we cut back to the concert. I'm going to change our Roll20 map real quick. So we have this big concert. Everybody's celebrating. There's fireworks going off. It's a great and fun time. Let's see. What do you all act like at a concert? Actually, I'm wondering how your characters would react to being at this weird party.
I actually have a question that I forgot to ask when we landed on the planet, but I feel like now that we're transitioning to the party, this is the better time to ask it. Did we do a costume change when we arrived on this world, lowercase w, and how much input did Karli have into all of our outfits?
I think that's a question for Karli.
So, in terms of input, I think Carly's one of those people who isn't into matching, but is more into coordination. So everyone has to have like one accessory that's the same color.
I'm gonna make a request that we have the same color be the weird faded lime green of my towel, because I do not go anywhere without it, and you can't make me take it off. You have tried in the past, and you have failed.
It is spring, so she concedes.
Wanda only wears red, so she is showing up in classic Wanda.
Like with the big stupid,
Like with the big hat, red cape, red opera gloves.
Perfect. So, this is this party looks is completely clashing with the DC vibe. It's just abhorrent.
We could all wear baseball caps and sunglasses if you want.
I mean, Steve is wearing that, certainly, but that's because he's a Marvel character. Gosh, all right. So we've got our main characters there. There's a big party. What are you all doing at this party, this concert? Hannah Montana's on stage.
So Wanda would start off all business, and then Best of Both Worlds comes on, and she can't help but dance. She can't help.
I love this.
I feel like so Carly's had a costume change. Not like she's had a reskinning, I think is the way we should refer to it. Because it's still leggings, it's still tank top, but the leggings are now like just picture like the worst 4th of July American flag leggings, with a white tank top and now just like the bright red heartless symbol. And she's swapped for a denim jacket because Miley did say party in the USA, so like you gotta stick with the theme, stick with the vibe. But she does have her hair's like not tied up with, but she's got like a mint green towel colored bandana to like hold her wispies back, because she's a professional. And her song is Everybody Makes Mistakes. Like, as soon as that comes on, she's just in it to win it, and she's just, like, kind of dancing. And she's still scanning the area, but she is, like, dancing about it, It's good. She's having a great time.
Perfect. How's Aggermint taking this in?
He's not feeling the vibe all that much. He's not used to this dimension's form of gyrations, and so he's kind of uncomfortably shuffling back and forth. He's trying to follow the lead of his teammates, but he can't quite keep the beat. He literally does have 2 left feet, and 2 right thumbs.
You can't just drop that on us!
Of course I can! I'm sorry, did you not hear me say Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Of course I can.
Oh, God.
And because we kind of established that the Heartless are gonna kind of like look like the frat bro-y kind of dudes of the area.
Mixed in with some lobbyists, yes.
Mixed in with some lobbyists. Could I do a deep dive as kind of like my look around?
Yes, that'd be perfect.
Okay, cool. And I roll with heart.
Yes.
Uh-oh. It's gonna be a 4.
Oh no.
That's a 4.
So, on a miss, the GM tells you something you wish wasn't true. I'm so glad you failed on this specific one. I've been wanting to do this ever since I learned about this rule. Something you wish wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking around. You see, everybody's having a good time at the party except you, of course. Hannah Montana's, shaking hands with President Parr. Steve Rogers is up, being his normal American self, and they're all standing around this big golden cylinder, and President Parr is giving a great speech about how this is very important, and the link between Disney and that link between them and Columbia is very important, and this begins, a new age of cooperation and friendship, and blah blah blah. And as they're talking, this big beam of light is shooting up. These big chains of light are shooting up into the sky, and everyone's cheering. And then you realize that in the shadows, right behind this big, light display, this big, light bridge going up, you see a man in a mask with long hair. And he like makes eye contact with you, and he's holding a detonator. Audience, you can't see, but he's
that's right.
and just shaking his head and making the no motion across his neck, and it's very funny.
And that's what Aggermint is doing. Make like direct eye contact with apparently Bucky.
Yes. And then he presses the thing, and there's an explosion, and the light bridge just completely collapses. People are. This is Disney, so nobody's actually harmed, but they're pushed back and they all fall over, and the big light link, the world chain collapses, and people start to run and panic, and there's fire and chaos everywhere, and then as this guy in this mask comes onto the stage with he doesn't have a gun because this is Kingdom Hearts and nobody really has guns, but he's got two knives. I think he's got two edgy looking knives. This person with the big spear, this armored person, also comes up from behind them, and they're actually and the president has been blasted away and Steve Rogers is just sort of recovering, but it's just Hannah Montana now. Trying to defend against these two people who are advancing on her. What do you all do?
Book it to the stage. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta defend that little baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they see you all, run up in front of Hannah Montana, and Hannah Montana, who looks at you and says, "Wow, I sure am glad that you people I've never met before are coming to help me in my time of need." And then you hear the soundtrack in the background do cheers as you all stand up in front of Protector, which completely clashes with the chaos and fire that's all around this concert, but the laugh track will prevail.
Wait, so Bucky's there with his knives? Yes.
Yep. And there's this big armored person with a big spear that looks like a pencil.
Great. So Karli's heart-bound giant knife, again, very large knife. It just looks like a chef knife. It has the words "Slice Co." written on the blade. It appears in her hands, and instead of getting in a battle position, she kind of, how people hold those giant checks. She kind of holds it out in front of her. And she just looks at Bucky, and she just goes, "Listen, I know we're in the middle of something here, but there's no day like today to upgrade your equipment. I noticed that your knives look dull, look like they've been through a couple of things. And I'm here as Karli Johnson, that starts with a K, ends with an I, and I would like to be your neighborhood Slice Co representative. So if you're interested in changing your life with a nice sharp Slice Co knife today, I would love to show you my wares."
Is this a convince somebody?
Sure. Again, I can roll that with I know what lies in your heart, so I get a +2.
Okay.
Do we take
That's
psychic?
a 7.
Do you take psychic damage from listening to that speech? I did, certainly.
Yeah.
On a 7, they'll do it, but need some clear assurance or evidence first. So he's getting ready. He's like, I guess what's the catch?
So, there's no catch. You could start your own Slice Co set today for the low price of $19.99 plus shipping and handling. And then follow that up with 12 monthly payments of $23.99 plus shipping and handling. But today, if you agree to this introductory set featuring a chef's knife, a paring knife, a bread knife, and our proprietary Slice Co knife sharpener, then you get to upgrade your setup from bland to, and she fucking whirls that goddamn giant ass knife in front of her like a baton and just slices an amp clean in half. To this!
Yo! Hannah Montana shrieks, but it's not necessarily in terror. She's kind of thrilled. I think Hannah Montana has a light link with you now.
Great. Love that very much for her.
Yeah, I guess Bucky is semi-pacified by that great sales pitch. And I guess he's walking over to peruse your knives. The armored figure, though, takes their spear and says, I have to do everything myself. And sort of points to Aggermint and Wanda and says, "Move or you will be moved."
Absolutely not.
I think you're going to be the one moved, and Wanda is going to cast magic.
That makes sense.
She's better at the one-liners than I could ever be. Thank goodness for that.
Oof. Okay. So that is, with my plus, a 7.
Ooh, okay. So, describe your magic and pick one from the following list. The magic opens something, causes 1 harm, heals 1 harm, hits more than 1 entity, no unintended consequences, creates an illusion, inflicts a semi-permanent condition, or bypasses defenses.
So I have an idea. Inflicts a semi-permanent condition. So Wanda is going to change the metal on his legs to basically make it weights. So he's slowed down because the metal in his legs is now like a bunch of gym weights. Mm-hmm. She like alters reality.
Yeah. So yeah, this person is like rushing at you, and then all of a sudden they're just like, what? They like fly forward, and they're like, what? How is this possible? And then they like snap their fingers, and a bunch of frat bro heartless appear, and they're getting ready. They're all surrounding them, and they say, seize the pop star, and the president as well. We've got to get out of here. So, Aggermint, what do you do? All these frat boys are coming.
Yeah, I want to strike with intent, but on the lady who's in control of all the Heartless, on the armor lady.
That makes sense. Ground.
Now,
you would be good at Kingdom Hearts.
Here's the thing. I've got a question. Chain of memories, everyone. I've got a question. One of the moves that I took was never leave home without it. I think it goes without question that I never leave home without my towel. It's very useful, particularly in combat instances. I feel like I've described it enough up to this point. Do I get that +1 ongoing to whatever I do?
Yes, I think that's fair.
Okay, cool, thanks. Hey, thanks, bud. Cool. How do I... did I say intent or subdue? Who remembers?
You said intent, but you could do subdue if you like.
I feel like I'm gonna do it with intent. I feel like a knockout, potentially, is the best way to go. Fuck, I don't think my dark is all that good, though. Okay, so that's a 9 + 1, and then my dark... I rolled a 9, I get a +1 for the towel. So that's a 10, but then my dark is actually +1, so that's an 11.
Wow, okay, and this was strike with intent. So on
this was strike with intent.
10+, deal harm and choose 2. Either defend yourself from harm, deal great harm, or take control of the situation.
Naturally, I'm going to deal great harm and take control of the situation.
Oh, wow, you have really turned this thing around, huh?
Yeah. Towels, everybody.
Yeah, so Aggermint very coolly, sort of like snaps the towel out. And
can I please make a suggestion, since it is,
of course.
It is like a bunch of frat boy heartless, can they please be impressed with my towel whipping skills, and it reminds them of their bro-y locker room days? I'm sorry, Leyla, did that tickle you a particular way?
Oh hell.
You invited the hockey player. I don't know what you were thinking.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, like you snap your towel so good that all the heartless stop and they're like, bro, damn. Did you see this shit? Fucking wild, dude. Damn. And yeah, you inflict great harm, so much so that this helmet cracks and breaks. And as the helmet falls off, you see that this is a woman that's maybe in her early 30s with long blonde hair and piercing blue eyes, and she glares at you, and she says, "You don't know what you're doing. You best release me at once, or a great fate will befall all of you in a way that is not good, and in fact quite bad."
What, from you, who I want to help with the one-liners, please? I have the situation well in hand, maybe?
I would say Aggermint has you in the place of being the negotiatee, not the negotiator.
Oh, that's good. That's very good, Wanda.
Maybe, but I think you've neglected to fully neutralize my other companion. And then I think so what's happening with Karli and the Winter Soldier? Like, did Karli just give him some knives?
No, she's trying to sell him on the knives. She's giving him a full product rundown, and she's doing that demo, which if any of you have ever been subject to the real MLM, she's sitting there with a penny and like peeling it like an apple. That's a real demo from a knife MLM. And she's sitting there, she's like, okay, we'll see how sharp it is. I can just cut right through this penny right here, and you could just look at all that control you can get. And all this knife right here, this will stay sharp for 6 months. And if you need it sharpened ever, that's a lifetime guarantee for sharpening. You could just send it in, pay shipping and handling. We'll send it right back to you, sharp, good as new, ready to use. Now, for the bigger knives, that is going to be kind of a dollar shipping fee, but again, free sharpening. Who else is going to sharpen that beautiful big long knife for you? Hey, guys! Calling out to her compatriots.
To the lady on the ground, I'm gonna say, I think your friend's a little busy with a business transaction. Is there somebody else you wanted to call?
Hey, guys, I have a question. Can I get a?
Yeah, Karli, what can we help you with?
Hi, Wanda. Oh my God, Wanda, you look so pretty, by the way. Forgot to tell you that your hair looks great. Despite the humidity, don't know what you use, would love to have your product run down later. Can I hit her yet? Can I hit her yet? Can I hit her?
I don't see why not.
Okay,
Yeah.
Karli would like to strike the armored woman with intent.
Yeah, no, roll to strike with intent.
To 10.
That's, jeez, wow, okay. Yeah, no, you whoop up on her. So yeah, you choose to defend yourself, deal great harm, take control of the situation.
I would like to deal great harm and take control of the situation.
Yeah, no.
Oh, thank goodness.
No, yeah, how does Karli do battle? Do you just whack her with your big knife?
So she kind of just like looks at Bucky and she's like, so sorry, honey, I do have to take the demo knife for just a second. She like takes the knife out of the amp. And she does go and smack her. You know, it's not violence, Kingdom Hearts smacking. So there's like little cartoon stars that pop out, and she just like kind of whacks her with the knife. That's her attack. It's just a big nice whack, and she's got those beautiful toned Pilates arms. It's just the technique is just precision and grace, you know. Yeah, no, you smash the armored woman through like a big like a big pillar or something that's got like a bunch of amplifiers or speakers on it, and that collapses, and she like pushes herself up by her spear very shakily, and she's like, this isn't working, and then she looks over to Captain America, and then she like sort of like puts her fingers to her temples a little bit, and then Captain America's like, ugh. And he sort of staggers around, and he says, Bucky? Are they trying to hurt you, Bucky? And then he charges at, I guess who's closest to Bucky? I would say Karli, right? Yeah, I would say so. Okay, he Captain America charges at you with his shield lowered, and he's about to crush you with his big shield. What do y'all do?
I'm just going to cast a spell, cast some magic at Steve, and we'll see. So that is an 8. So I choose 1.
Yes.
So I'm going to create an illusion, and Karli is going to now look like Bucky, and Bucky is now going to look like Karli.
Oh boy.
Oh no. He's like, that trick won't work on me. And then Bucky is like, huh? What? And then he gets just completely plowed, blasted over by Steve. And they tumble off the stage, and the armored woman is like, I really gotta start working with more competent people. And she she like scowls at all of you, and she says, you may have won this time, but I promise you're not on the right side of this. Please think about what you're doing and who you're really helping.
Okay, bestie, but next time you need to outfit your team, please make sure you contact Karli Johnson, starts with the K, ends with an I. It's your neighborhood Slice Co representative. I will really get you some better weapons for your quest. It really hurts me to see those dull-ass knives.
I have something weird I want to try to do.
Yeah, no, do it.
I want to try to create a link with this lady.
Okay, yeah.
So I think what Wanda's going to do is try to create a mastery link. She sees that this is a competent person with a lot of potential, and she's like, hey, maybe we can use your powers for good.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, definitely.
I'm going to see how that goes. We'll see. That's a 10.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Michael, write down that you have a mastery link with Nominee.
Why would you do this to me specifically?
Wow, talk about girl bossing your way to the top.
That's right. What do you say to make this link with Nominee?
So Wanda is going to just like go over, obviously still having her illusion spell in the background, and she's just going to lean down and go, look, I see a lot of myself in you. You think you're trying to do the best you can, and instead, here you are causing chaos. I don't think you're a bad person. I think you just have the wrong motivations. Maybe we could help each other.
She sort of like brushes herself off and sort of looks at Wanda for a second and says, you know, maybe we could. I'll remember that. But I think that it's you who has the wrong intentions. Trust me on this one. And then she sort of, she like looks up and she says, I've got to go. My ride's here. And then you hear the sound of the, that was a terrible sound, but it's the TIE fighter noise, flies over, and she like a big Star Wars like spaceship sort of like flies overhead and sort of beams her up into it, and it disappears. They teleports away. And you know, as the camera pans up and you know everybody dusts themselves off and Miley Cyrus begins to resume her concert, we see the camera pan over the Capitol, up over the Washington Monument, and look up, and in the background above the Washington Monument is the moon, but it looks like a heart. And that's where the game ends.
Wow.
That's amazing.
We did it. But at the same time, we beat up Nominee.
I can't believe you guys beat up Nominee. Why would you do that?
I'm so upset. Oh no.
Hey, I made friends with her.
There we go. Thank you, Michael.
Oh no.
Perfect. Thank you all for playing this game with me. I had so much fun. You all did so well. That was incredible. You all should be actors professionally, I think. Ange, do you have any, you know, we don't have an extensive listenership on our podcast, but would you like to plug anything you're working on at this time?
Absolutely not. I have nothing. I'm not doing anything.
Great.
I'm on Twitter. It's at Sock Imposter, but I never tweet, so it's mostly just dead air. Follow me for that.
Oh God. Michael, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Michael's Diamonds, and you can find me on Bible Boys, Aaron's other podcast.
Yes, we just released our book review of 23 Minutes in Hell, and it fucking slaps, so please check that out.
It was really funny.
It was awesome. Leyla, when we're not coercing our friends into playing tabletop RPGs about Kingdom Hearts, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm at LEYLSES at Lails on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram, and I finally moved and finished all my classes, so you can expect art essays and more.
Great. And you can find me on the internet at AaronSXL, where I tweet about healthcare policy and tabletop RPGs and video games and all that. Like Michael said, I'm also on the Bible Boys, and this podcast is at Mortified Pod. Thank you all for listening to the first 50 episodes of Mortified. It's been super fun, and we plan to continue doing incredible content like this for you in the future. Leyla, I think our next thing is going to be Crooked Kingdom, right?
Yep, we're going back to our favorite mall goth universe, just in time for Shadow and Bone.
Yes, so please check us out then. I'm also going to include some music in this episode that is all used under a Creative Commons 3.0 license. Check out links to those artists in the episode description. I don't know if we have a closer. Leyla, do we have a closer? Oh, may your heart be your guiding key, everyone.